18 and 19. We did part 6, but we did not do part 7. Here are the answers. You can check them on your own. Y is 21 the answer. D, she is currently managing the store. If you did this work, you will know that he says all managers need to have their staff, okay? And she says, okay, I'll have everyone do it. So that means she is a manager, okay? And 22, they will be even less happy if they don't. The answer is A. We can see here, they will be even less happy if they don't. They will not be happy about coming in. That means they're not going to get paid on time. Okay, I'm going through this quickly because we have lots to do today. The next part, I'm skipping page 17 and I'm just showing you the questions. I actually don't have the answers here on my screen, but I can tell you what they are. All right. 23. The answer is, does anybody know? A is correct. They include an intermission. I don't have it, but if you look in the second slide, it says, second picture, it says all 4 of these song performances have an intermission. Okay? 24, what's the answer? D? C is correct, very good. C is correct according to the advertisement. Again, I don't have the advertisement on my screen, but if you look on the page, it gives information about each performer. 25, the answer is? Good job. D, here I can show you. She says, thank you. Kenyang, thank you means appreciation. Appreciation, the answer is D. Kudame 26. D. What do we know? We know that she lost her wallet. She lost her wallet, and why is it C? This is tricky. How do we know that it's C? Very difficult. First of all, we know she lost her wallet, but we don't know where. She says her seat, but where is her seat? We don't know. We know balcony, and we know her seat is in the balcony. So you can see how part 7 is very difficult. You need to read this, you need to see this, very difficult. 27 is much easier. What's the answer? The answer is use A. A. To take advantage of means to use. Okay? To use. Alright, good. And we are moving on. If you look at my syllabus, you will know that we are skipping unit 2, and we're going straight to part 3. I never teach unit 2. So we are on page 34. 34. And honestly, this is a tough one to teach, because it's a lot of memorization on your part. Kenyang, Weiwo, you need to study this. But first, let's just review a little bit. We need to know parts of speech. What does parts of speech mean? Parts of speech means noun, verb, adjective, adverb. Okay? 4 things. 명사, 동사, 변형사, okay? You need to know what these are. If you don't know what these are and how they operate in a sentence, this is going to be a very hard chapter for you. I cannot review what a noun is. I did it last week, okay? But adjective, adverb, you need to know these things. Because I'm building on, this book is building on that, all right? So, the reason you need to know what these four things are is because we're talking about suffixes today. And a suffix is an ending letters, like attention, shun, T-I-O-N, okay? There are also prefixes. We are not studying those this week. Pre means first, suff means last. So basically today, we are going to be looking at ending letters of adverbs, adjectives, verbs, and nouns. Okay? So basically, we're 그냥 studying adjectives, adverbs, verbs, and nouns. The only difficult part is I can make a noun into a verb if I add a special letters. And I can make a verb into an adverb if I add certain letters. So it gets a little tricky. You see one word, attend, and now I add T-I-O-N, and now it's attention. Okay? So it does get tricky. And the problem with it, you've got all these ending letters. I cannot teach you what they are. I can just show you, and you need to study them. Okay? So that's the problem. But as usual, before we get into it, let's look at our vocabulary first. Notice these words here. Noun, verb, adjective. Okay, you should know these things. Alright, please repeat after me. I say, 그다음에 you say. Pressure. Verify. Accuracy. Compulsory. Involve. Accomplish. Harmful. Tied to. Experiment. Originate. Military. Almost. Classify. Brochure. Likewise. Frown. Critical. Advise. Extensive. Accordingly. Disapproval. Capable. Let's look at some of these words. Why? Why is used for verbs, but it's also used for adverbs. Okay? Wise, as we will see in the book, is also used with adverbs. A-L, I-S-E, I-V-E, L-Y, A-L. These are all called suffixes. And if I take them away or I put them in, they change the meaning of a verb or of a word. Okay? So you guys know that nouns and adjectives go together, right? Handsome professor. Right? Handsome professor, yes? And you know that verbs and adverbs go together. Walk slowly. He is walking slowly. Walk slowly, okay? That's very basic. But what happens if I start adding suffixes to these words? Then they start to change, and then you have a headache, okay? So let's take a look. This is not in your book. This book is not very good. It does not give a lot of information, so I am giving you extra information. You can take pictures of this or take down notes. I don't care, okay? So, as we know, nouns are people, places, and things. 지난주, we studied nouns, okay? We use suffixes to create new words, okay? For example, I-O-N, A-C-T. A-C-T is a verb, okay? If it's something you can do, 할 수 있어, it's a verb, action word. acting, right? Act. So I've got act, acting, actor, action. All these root words with different suffixes changes it. Act is a verb, actor is a noun, action, okay, becomes a noun. So it gets tricky, okay? Suffixes is a letter of groups that we add to the end of the word, as I already told you. Usually they show parts of speech such as nouns, adjectives, or verbs. They also tell us if the words are plural, hana, or plural, more than one, or singular, only one. Okay? As we will see soon. So let's keep looking at this. They always arrive late on Wednesday. Let's look at this word. What is the verb in this sentence? Arrive. Okay? What is the adverb? Late. How do they arrive? They arrive late. Okay, so we know we have a noun and an adverb here, right? But what happens if I add al to arrive? The arrival of a new puppy made everyone happy. Now the word arrive changes from a verb into a noun by two simple letters. Jajuna. Okay? Very hard to teach this. You just need to see the list and study them. Okay? As you can see here, we've got the word profession. Everything has a root word. Profession. I add al, it becomes a noun. Okay? Professional. Approve, approval. Deny, denial. Alright? Let's look at some more examples. Look at the word real. Real. If I add ity, we get the word reality, which is a noun. If I add ize, we get realize, which is a verb. If I add ly, we get really, which is an adverb. Oh shit, okay? You need to now know a lot of this. Most of you will be familiar with ly because that is very common with adverbs. Very common. But there's so many different endings, it's very hard just to teach it. You have to just see it and study it and practice it, okay? So as you can see, there are many more. There are many suffixes that we can use to create nouns. So try to remember that nouns usually have these endings. Okay? I will be showing you lots of lists, and the book shows you lists as well. Okay? So there are some ways that we can do to separate these. So let's look at nouns first. Nouns that describe people doing an activity, like a verb. Okay? People that are experiencing an activity. For example, EE. Employee. Employee is a verb. Employee is someone experiencing a job. So we usually use EE for that. So if you can find a way to categorize this, you're bingo, you got it, okay? But it's not easy to do. So I'll try to help you out, but in the end, you need to just study these, okay? So here's some. Again, what can I say here? You just need to know and remember what these words are, okay? I'm not going to read them to you. Here they are. Here's a list of some noun suffixes, okay? All of these are nouns. Again, what a huge list, okay? I'm not going to read this for you. You can take a picture if you want. The book also has many lists, but the book is not very comprehensive. So I'm trying to give you as much information as possible. These are not for nouns. These are for adjectives. 현명사. you will see these relating to nouns. Okay? You'll see these related to nouns. I think I am making it look harder than it is. Once we go to part 5, you will see it's not so hard if you use your common sense. But anyway, there are a lot. There are a lot of these, okay? And we're moving, we got nouns, we got adjectives, and here are some verb suffixes for verbs. ate, ed, en. Some of these you're familiar with. 그냥 하고, right? 하고. Graduated, right? That's very common. You're familiar with. Some of these you know, but maybe not all of them. Present participle, ing, I am speaking. That's a suffix, right? I will move on. So, I'm going to just go straight to this, and this is page 34. So, again, as I said last week, you need to understand that nouns can be counted and not counted, okay? That can also be a problem. If you're not sure about things I can count and things I can't count, for example, soap, okay? Soap, I cannot count soap. 1 soap, 2 soaps, 3 soaps, no. Bar of soap, okay? So you need to know that. Here we have countable nouns, okay? And as you can see, all of them have different suffixes. So when you look at them, you might not even know that they are nouns. You might think that they are an adverb or something else, okay? So you need to remember that these suffixes are related to nouns, countable nouns, okay? Countable nouns. However, other nouns are uncountable, and they have their own words, their own suffixes, okay? So if you see ENT, if you study enough, you know that ENT is a countable person, thing, okay? But if you see CY or RY, you will know that this is an uncountable noun, okay? Honestly, there's not much I can do to tell you about this. It's just here are the suffixes, and over time, you need to practice them and study them, okay? Let's continue. So, this is still page 34. Miss Littman recently hired a new to help her. Okay, so we can break this down by looking at the sentence. This is one way to avoid all the crazy suffixes. Know your sentence structure. Every sentence has a subject, a verb, and something else, an object, okay? Here we have the verb hire. And then I have an article. We studied articles before, and you know that articles, a and the, come 전에 before a noun, right? So we already know we're thinking about nouns in this blank space, okay? All right? Imagine we don't know what word this is. We know it has to be a noun. There are many suffixes for nouns, but at least we know it's a noun, okay? If you know that A and T suffixes for nouns, you're a double bonus, okay? You know what to circle. Investigators verified the accuracy of the information. Again, we have a verb, we have an article. After that, you'll always get a noun. If you know that CY is connected to nouns, double bonus. You know what to circle. So let's look at this one, number 1. Please ask Mr. Jorgensen to order more for our office. Stationery or stationary? If you know that stationary is a what? 형용사, 명사, 동사, 부사, what is it? Does anybody know? This is a verb. Okay? It means to not move. This is a noun, and it means pencils, papers, erasers, chuge, gongcheck, things we use in an office. Okay? Let's look here. Ted's biggest in life was to start his own business. Biggest is what? 형용사. 형용사? 맞아. No. 부사. I'm sorry. An adverb. Okay? Describing a verb. Alright? So if we look here, we can see stationary means not moving. Stationary means things. So here you just 그냥 need to know the vocabulary. Here you know you must have a noun. Accomplish is a verb. Accomplishment is a noun. Okay? So this is one of the difficult chapters of this book. A lot of future chapters I can sort of teach you hint words, but this chapter is very difficult because you already need to know what a noun looks like and what a verb looks like and where they go in a sentence. Let's continue. So, back to our adjectives. 형용사. All of these endings are used with adjectives. Adjectives can go before a noun. You know this, okay? They can also go after verbs or after an object in a sentence, which don't worry about that right now. But remember, they generally go 전에 before a 명사. That can help you, okay? Let's continue. So let's practice. Greeley Consulting moved to a more office. Office is the noun. 전에 we need a 형용사, okay? If we look back at our list, OUS, all right? And sorry. All these stuff. Where did I go? We know OUS is an adjective suffix only. So hopefully, 그냥, you just know where nouns go and where adverbs go in a sentence. That's a big help if you know that. Okay? The results of the tests were satisfactory for everyone involved. Okay? Results of the test. This is the 명사, results. Okay? Here, the adjective does not come 전에, before. Here we can see 전에, but here not 전에. It comes after the verb, to be 동사. Okay? And again, you need to know ORY is for adjectives only. Store the harmful chemicals. Here we can see the noun and here the adjective of the noun. FUL, this is very common. Careful, harmful, all right? Mindful, very common adjectives. Let's look at our checkup test. 1. A clerk in the mailroom reported the package immediately. Package, 명사, 전에, 형용사. Now, the question is, if you don't know, is suspect a noun, adjective, or is suspicious an adjective? Hopefully you know that suspect is a noun. You cannot have a noun and a noun. That makes it much easier, right? If you know what a noun looks like, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you don't know that this is a noun, then you're going to have trouble. But if you know this is a noun, then 그냥, this is, you know what's the answer. All right? Doctors at National Hospital developed the procedure. Okay. We have a noun. 어떤 procedure? You know that experiment is a what? Don't be shy. Is it a verb? Can you experiment? No. Is it an adverb? Does it describe a verb? Nope. Is it a noun? Can you do it? Yes. So noun and noun, does that make sense? No, of course not. So the other answer must be an adjective. But I also know it's an adjective because AL. So there's lots of ways you can do this. Of course, these are very easy because we only have two choices. Najingate, you have A, B, C, D, right? Let us continue with verbs this time. Verbs. Page 35. Again, as you can see, I cannot teach this to you. You just need to know it, okay? You need to practice it. Be familiar with these words. Be familiar with these words. I'm going to skip over this. And you might not be familiar with this. Pronouns. You know pronouns are I, you, he, she, we, they, it, right? Me, my, you, your. But there are also these kind of pronouns, okay? Who is always used with people. Whom is always used with people. Whose can be people or things. That can be people or things. Which is only for things. Okay? So this might pop up on your tests. Alright? I'm not going to go through all of this with you, but I'm just pointing it out. This book does not teach this, but you will see these questions in the test sometimes, and the book doesn't teach it, so I'm just showing it to you. Okay? Remember that people or things is for possessive, okay? Nekko, alright? Nekko, whose. These are for object, subject, this is for mine, alright? These can be subject or object. That's kind of the problem with that. Some people get confused. But we will see as we practice, we can make it more clear. So let's do some practicing. Do I want to practice relative clauses? I don't want to confuse you. Let's skip those and let's focus on this. Let's go back to this. Page what? Page 36, Samshin. Our mechanic. Mechanic is what? 명사, 동사, 형용사, 부사. It's a noun, right? What comes after a noun? Always, almost always, a verb, right? A verb. So that, if you know that, good. If you don't know that, bad news. But if you also know that Z-E-S, I-Z-E are common for verbs, then double bonus. You know the answer, okay? Remember, this is just dongorami. Circle only. The secretary, again, classifies. Technologies originate. The problem is you get strange words like this, okay? Employees wear safety gear too. I'm sure many of you are not familiar with these words. You know the word less, more and less, right? But you may not be familiar with these, okay? Hopefully you know that lesser is an adjective, comparative adjective. But if you don't, you need to know that lesson would be the correct answer. But this is not a common word, so this is where this can be a little bit difficult. Because some of these words are not common to you, okay? George's supervisor frowned to show his disapproval. What's another word for show? Hopefully here you know that significant would never work in this situation, okay? You can only choose a Y word, Yogi, Y word with a verb, okay? But man, it's not easy. It's not easy. Let's do some more practice. Now we have done nouns, adjectives, verbs, and now we're doing adverbs. Adverbs describe verbs, okay? Just try to remember that. Adverbs, the thing about adverbs, they can go before a verb, after a verb, at the end of a sentence, at the beginning of a sentence. Adverbs are tough. Nouns are usually with adjectives, right? But verbs and adverbs are not always together. So as we can see, adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency meaning sometimes. 가끔, 보통, usually. 항상, always. These can go before to 비동사, all right? But we also have suffixes here, and here they are. You are familiar with these, definitely. Usually, anytime you see an ly word, you know it's an adverb. He walks slowly, he walks quietly, he walks quickly. But there are some other 이상한 ones, strange ones, like ways and wise. Okay? You have to remember that these are adverbs that describe verbs. Okay? Tricky. Teresa Walker is, 투비동사 is. Okay? Capable is a verb. How capable is she? Highly capable. Very capable. The salesperson forgot. I want to give information, measurement. I use most, yogi. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. He left, but then he came back and grabbed it. Mr. Shin works late and expects us to do 똑같아, likewise. In Korean, 회사, the boss stays late, everyone else must stay late. 짜증나. Building the plant is complete. Give more information. Nearly complete. Almost complete. Right? Look. Almost complete. Nearly complete. Start at once. 반대. If you don't, otherwise. Okay? Likewise, 똑같아. Otherwise, 반대. Again, you don't need to know what these words mean all the time. You just need to know what they are. Is it an adverb, an adjective, a noun, or a verb? Okay? Let's continue with some practice. Now hold on, I'm going to be skipping through some of this. Wait. Okay, here we go. Look at number 1. The guests were amazed by the statues. What do we need here? Do we need a verb, an adverb, an adjective, a noun? Yes, we need an adjective because statues. 여러분, 그냥 you tell me what is the answer. 어떤 형용사? I don't care. 아무거나. You tell me. Can you think of an adjective to describe a statue? 해봐. Huge. Beautiful. Lovely. Scary. Okay? There is no correct answer here. I just want to practice that you know. Okay? 2. The rise in steel prices has resulted in an increase. What do we need here? Yep. 어떤 increase? Dramatic. 다르다. Dramatic. Huge. Big. Shocking. Any others? Sharp. You got it. Okay? Okay. Let's do one more. While Sujin was at college, she to her sister every week. What do we need here? She. She 그다음에 동사. Right. So, what did she do to her sister every week? Probably called, right? Called, spoke, wrote, emailed. Okay. So, there are no answers. I just want to make sure that you guys are following me here, okay? Here are some examples. If you want, you can take a picture of this to give you how wide your possibilities are, okay? So, adjectives, verbs, noun, adjective, and many possibilities. And you can see they all have different endings, different suffixes. Let's continue. Nope. Do I have the answers? I do. Let's try a couple of these. The guests were amazed by the... Oh, we already did this. You don't need to take a picture. We already did this. I haven't looked at this slide in a long time. Moving on. Let's try these. Miss Jennings suggests we our sales profits. After we must have a verb, right? Now, increasing is a verb. Increases is a verb. Increase is a verb. These are all verbs. Shit. So what do? You need to know the verb form. 과거, 현재, 미래, right? So, not only do you need to know parts of speech, but you need to know grammar, 문법. So what do you choose? Suggests, 현재, we, 그냥, increase, right? Okay, let's do one more. I'm not doing all of these with you, okay? To an outside call, please dial 9. This is easy. We know after to, we need a verb. And after to, it must be infinitive. No ing, no ed, no s. Which one works the best, do you think? Here, 그냥, you need your 단어. You need to know 단어. What do you think is the best logical answer? Not place. Yes, place. 잘했어. I thought it was reach, but no, because it could be to make an outside call, but we don't have make here. Another word for make is place. Make a call, place a call. If you don't know that, he did. Copy off of him. Everybody look at his test, okay? So, here are the answers. Here are the answers. And I'm not going to explain why all of these are, because that would take me the entire Hakki semester, okay? I cannot teach you the basics of grammar. I'm only teaching what's in the book here. Let's continue. Let's do two of these. It has long been that small downturns in the U.S. economy can have a global impact. If you know your grammar, you will know that has is a big hint. Do I need to know if this is an adverb, an adjective, a verb, or a noun? Who cares? Because I can see has. And I know has must be what? 과거분사, right? Yes. It has long been known. Alright? Let's do one more. The sales clerk charged me twice. Oh, this is much more difficult. What form of mistake are we going to use here? The verb is charge. We need an adverb. What one of these is an adverb? If you know that ly is a common adverb suffix, then you know that the answer is D, mistakenly, okay? So it kind of makes a bit of sense, but it's very difficult, okay? Here are the answers to all of them if you want. I'm going to move on. Do we have time? We do not have time for all this. So let's go to our book, part 5. Page 37. Let's do it one job. Let's see if you can do it. I will try to help you if you raise your hand, if you don't know. Did one of you email me homework? I have 2 ERP classes. Just to remind you guys, homework is due at the end of the semester. Haki kunago. 일주일? No. Okay? Here are the answers. So the book makes it quite scary. But when you look at it and you look at the ABCD, it makes a bit more sense, I hope. Once you have checked your answers, move on to the second part of part 5. Page 38, please. 38. show you the answers. Wait. Starting with number 9 here. 10. Sorry, can you read that? 11. Okay, and moving on. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I want to do part 6 with you. I've already given you the answer, but let's find out why is the answer for 17 and 18. Let's find out why, okay? So, the first thing we do when we see part 6 is not read it. We don't have the time for that, okay? So we're going to go directly to the options. Oh my God, these are all words that come at the beginning of a sentence. Unless, regardless, whether, and nevertheless. So, not easy, all right? Even for me, it's not easy because some of them are very similar. How can we narrow it down? The sentence says, "We are pleased to inform you that we have decided to move our headquarters to a new address." Next sentence. Blank, posted otherwise, otherwise, otherwise. Can you remember what otherwise means? Does it mean tokate or harayo? Opposite, hande, right? So that's a hint. Not a great hint, because you need to know what all these words mean. But basically, the opposite. Posted or not. If it's not posted, unless. Okay? That's the best we can do for that explanation. Alright? Let's move on to number 18. Alright, so unfortunately for this one, we have to do a little bit of reading. Alright? Nothing we can do because it is about reading comprehension. So let's analyze these sentences before. Let's look at the sentence before. It's a little bit small for me, so I'm going to read from my book. Long sentence. To increase efficiency and to synergize costs, the new headquarters will accommodate the affiliate companies within the group as well as the divisions currently in the business. Basically, it's saying this new company is going to take over everything. Take over everything. That's the point of the sentence. Let's take a look at these sentences here. The affiliates will finish moving by the second quarter. No, we're not talking about moving. We're talking about taking over. The affiliates will be spun off into independent companies. That's possible. All right, it's possible. The affiliates will move to the new location. Again, we're talking about moving. I don't like it. I know the answer, but in my mind, I don't know the answer, okay? I still don't like this. The affiliates will all be relocated. So none of this is talking about taking over. So reading the first sentence, bad idea. I should read the next sentence. Let's check it out. 18 Hue. Mariana Holdings and Mariana Media are scheduled to relocate on June 20. And Mariana.com will move on July 10. Alright, this kind of narrows it down a bit now, right? Here we can see the word phases. Phases means different times. Now we know the correct answer is C, okay? So, instead of reading everything, usually what I do is read the first. Then I see, do any of these match with that meaning? No? Shit. Okay, I gotta read the next sentence now. taking my time, but what can we do, okay? That's the way you want to do this, all right? Let's move on to number 19. Okay, here we have the root form of consolidate, okay? Let's check it out. The affiliate companies to one location will strengthen structural collaboration. We see the word will. This is a big hint here. Will. Any idea on what the answer is? Will. Will is your hint. Every sentence has a hint. And today, this one, will. Usually, will means future. 현재, 미래. So, future usually is hada, right? So, can I say, consolidate the affiliate companies? Good, you're right. If you think no, it is no. So, A is out. What else what other choices can we have? Well, I haven't taught you this yet, but I will. And if you look in your book, you need to look at the various suffixes. But when a word comes at the beginning of a sentence, especially if it's a verb, what suffix do you think I should use? 나중에, next chapters, we will study this. Yes, ing. ING, okay? Moving our class to another class will cool us down because the air conditioner is better in lab D. Studying the way we are will help you pass the test. When a verb starts a sentence with no modifier, 나중에 I will teach you what that means, it's ing. That's why I hate this book, because on one hand, we're talking about suffixes, ing, but on the other hand, this question is much better in later chapters. You will learn that who cares about the suffix? If it's at the beginning of a sentence, you only have one choice, ing. So, today you need to know because of suffix, but later you will learn that 전에, 먼저, first word is ing. 20. Now we need to know 단어. During the relocation, Mariana.com will have to stop its online services from 1 to 8. Yes. This does not mean forever. This does not mean quick. It means for a short time. Temporary. Temporarily. Okay? Again, temporarily stop. Stop is the verb. Temporarily is the adverb. Okay? We are going to stop as usual. I usually leave 7 for you guys. Okay? So check it out. When we return next week, we will check the answers. Okay? Good job.